Hey, what's happening guys? I'm ika.himee and welcome to my channel. So I thought today we'd talk about something cool, and that thing is space. Because, I mean, what's cooler than a vast nothingness that no one truly knows all of the answers to, right? Well, more specifically, instead of just talking about space, we are going to talk about how to draw space. Yeah. Because space, if you haven't noticed, is one of my favorite things to draw. So, let's get into this thing. Now you see I have a blank canvas here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dark blue color. Now you can pick whatever blue you want, but I choose to go for somewhere a more true blue, somewhere between purple and teal. So we have this kind of more of a navy blue color, and that'll be our base. Now you can make another layer, or you can not make another layer. Now me personally, I'm not going to make another layer because more layers make things more confusing, especially when you're working on an art piece that already has like 70 layers. So, you know, fuck that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a different color. So we can go and we're going to start maybe with like a lighter blue. We're going to take a pen tool or something like that, and we're going to make a couple of swishes of this color around the canvas. They don't have to be in any kind of pattern, they can just be random, like, hey, you know, there needs to be a light blue splotch there, and put a light blue splotch there. Next we're going to add more color because, well, this is very blue. So let's take a little trip over to purple. So here we're going to add some purple tones, and you can add these basically wherever you want to. I'd recommend adding them into areas that have the lighter blue color close by to kind of imply a bit of light, but you know, honestly, no one cares. You can just put it wherever you want. And now we're going to get real fun. We're going to go into pink, more of a pink color. Because who doesn't like pink in space? And we're going to add those colors. Now I'd recommend keeping these close to the purples because these definitely show more of a light. I don't tend to get very heavy-handed with my pinks because pink can be a very strong color contrasting against blue. So now we have our splotches. This doesn't look like anything, not even abstract art. Abstract art would not dare venture here. So now we're going to take our blending tool, whatever tool you use for that. You can use a watercolor tool if you want to. I'd recommend using your base color if you're going to use a watercolor tool, or you can just blend because blending is easy, you know, just blend. And we're just going to go over here. I'm actually going to adjust the settings so that it is the softest tip, no hard edges, because this is space. We want it to be super soft, right? So we're just going to blend all of that out, and I'm going to apologize in advance because I don't know if other people experience this, but using a big brush such as this, you know, 500 pixel brush can tend to lag out your program a little bit when you're blending, especially lots of areas over a long period of time. So just be patient while it catches up to you, and you're probably going to have to blend over a couple more times because it lags so much you can't always keep up with what it's doing. So we're just going to go over and we're just going to blend that out a bit more. Make sure there are no hard edges anywhere on the canvas. And let me just wait for that lag to catch up. Good lord. Alright, so here we go. This is what we have. It looks like 90s bowling alley galaxy floor, right? Little 90s carpet going on over here. Well, this, some of you might be like, hey, that looks pretty good. Well, you know what? It's not good enough for me. This is too bright. You see, all of the areas that we put on have added lots and lots of light to the image. So the space is no longer dark but very bright. Now I want dark space. So we're going to go back to the first blue we started out with, or close to it, and maybe even take it a little bit darker. Dare to go black, I say. I don't know. And for this we can take a watercolor tool because we don't need to be too harsh with it. You can use a pen tool if you want, doesn't matter, but I'm going to use a watercolor tool because that's a little bit softer. And I'm just going to kind of go over anywhere where you see these kind of dark canyons around the color. We're going to take it and we're just going to kind of splotch this color on in there. Just going to throw it around. Yep. Just gonna splotch that around. We're just gonna kind of make some jagged edges, because, you know, who cares? Just jagged edges all over the place. Now you want to make sure you don't cover all of the work that you've done, so make sure you leave some of that color in place. Now, as you can see, some of the spots that I'm putting color are a bit darker. I'm adding a bit more pressure. That's a pressure sensitivity thing. If you don't have that, I don't know, cry about it. Most tablets come with pressure sensitivity, so not really something that I've ever worried about, but you know, you deal with what you got. So if you don't have that kind of pressure sensitivity, or the tool doesn't operate in that way, you can go ahead and adjust these tips to however you see best fit. So now you can see that we have this, and wow, that looks like a mess, doesn't it? Well, we're going to clean that up. So we're basically going to do the same thing that we did before, and we're just going to blend that shit out. Yep, we're going to blend it and blend it and blend it. We're going to make a galaxy smoothie over here. We're just going to keep blending it. Blend it, blend it, blend. Now wait for the lag to catch up. Did it catch up? No, it didn't catch up. Okay, there we go. Now some of you might be saying, hey, that still looks kind of crazy. And I agree, it does still look kind of crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more black. We're just going to I'm going to tame down these spots a little bit. We're going to tame down. We're going to make the middle spot a little less prominent. We're going to take this. Basically, we're making galaxy clouds. Yep, we're making galaxy clouds. So, you know, I'm taking this dark color and I'm just gonna tame out a lot of these color splotches. Look, these little cloud splotchy things. This little Rorschach test going on over here. You know what? We're gonna cut that down a little bit. We're gonna go in the corner. We're gonna change it up. We're gonna really darken this up. You might be saying, hey, that looks like some weird tiger print. And you'd be right. Alright, now we're going to just keep blending. 90% of this, as you're going to see, is just blending. I mean, there's nothing really complex about it, except it's just really repetitive. And for some reason, I've condemned myself to liking galaxies in space, so, you know, I'm just going to take a lifetime of blending. Which I guess is good, because it takes a lot of blending to get the contour on my face right, you know, so I look pretty, so, you know, I guess this is nothing new to me. Alright, so now we're like, whoa, that's darkening it up. We got some nice light spots. How cool is that? Well, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna toot my own horn. I'm gonna say that it's pretty cool. Okay, so now I feel like we've gotten enough dark in there, so I'm just going to blend out and make sure I don't have any harsh lines, because, you know, it's space. Why would there be a hard edge in space, you know? If there's a hard edge, I'd get away from it. It might be a black hole or something, I don't know. I don't know about space. I just know that Pluto's a planet. Okay, so we got all that stuff blended, and you'd be like, alright, cool. Space is done. No, space is done. Space is not done, you idiots. We gotta add stars. What is space without stars? So for this, I actually am going to make another layer. I'm not going to do anything special to it. You can clip the layer if that makes you feel better, or groups them together, I don't know. I don't, because usually if I'm working on space, it's the last thing I'm doing, so who cares? Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to luminosity. I know, the cheater's tool. You don't have to set it to luminosity. I mean, I don't really care. You can actually just color pick those colors. It doesn't matter. I'll have the same effect. But I like luminosity because I don't have to work as hard. And, you know, I don't want to work as hard. So for this, I'm going to take a lighter blue color. Now I've shifted the blue up to the more between the true blue teal zone. So it's, you know, in that light blue area. And I've taken it up very, very close to the top of very light blue. And, I'm going to take a small brush and I'm going to set my stabilizer to 0 because I'm actually going to be making dots. And I don't want dots with tails, not now. So, I'm going to take a little let's do 10 brush. Let's do a 10 pixel brush. And now I'm just gonna dot, and I'm using varied pressure on this to get different sized stars. So they're not all the same size, because you don't want your stars looking too uniform, because that makes them all look like they're in the same spot. And space is very vast. It has a great amount of distance, which means that the stars are not going to be all at the same spot. It's not flat. Space is not a green screen. Alright? It's not flat. It's not in your face. It's very, very varied. Isn't that funny? Okay, so now we have this, and you could keep going with that. I mean, that's fine, but I want to add a little more color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take a yellow color. Why I pick yellow, I don't know, because I like it. And this is gonna be a lighter color than the color that we use for the blue, because I want this to be more white with a yellow glow. Light with a yellow hue. So this is more going to be like a white color, and you can see how it's not extremely different, but it adds a different color dimension to the stars. So nothing too drastic, but just enough to give you a bit of variety. There comes that word again, variety. Word of the day. How about that? Who knew I'd have a word of the day when I woke up this morning? But you know what? Guess what? I do. Alright, so you don't want all the stars to be an equal distance apart. You want to kind of change it up, add a few stars here and there, kind of close together, to make it look like it's not as planned, because you know what? Space isn't planned. Space just does whatever it wants. Space is space, Space is the boss bitch in the house. It just does what it wants. No control in it. Nothing you can do to change it. It's just space, man. It's just space. Alright, so now we have this, and you'd be like, whoa, I have to do that over the entire canvas? Well, you can, but why the fuck would you do that? That's just a waste of time. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shortcut it, because you know what? I'm queen of shortcuts, and I am all about shortcuts, and digital art lets you do shortcuts. That doesn't make it easier for all of you people out there being like, digital art easy, because I can paint stars traditionally too. It's just, I don't fucking want to do that when I do it, when I don't have the option, when I have the option to not, like, screw that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a selection tool. You can use the lasso, or you can use a square marquee, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter as long as you select that shit. And you're going to do a little Control C, Control V thing. We're going to copy and paste that shit. And we're going to move it over. Now, here's where things get a little bit freaky. I'm actually going to flip that, and let's flip that again, and let's move it around, Ooh, rotate. Yeah, let's rotate that shit. Here we go. Now, I'm going to overlap, and what overlapping does is it just gives you more density in certain areas, and it makes it look kind of cool, like you have a higher concentration of stars in one place than you do in another, and, just makes it look nice, just making it look nice. That's what space is about. We're making pretty. So, okay, deselect that stuff. And, well, that's on a different layer. So you might be like, that doesn't look the same. And you'd be right, because guess what? We're going to merge down. And, now it's on a luminosity layer, and now it all looks the same. They're all in uniform. We're no longer afraid of them because they don't look different anymore. Okay, so now we're going to select that again. Yes, I know, we're going to select, and we're going to copy and paste that whole section. So we're going to take this, and you know what? Let's get fresh. Let's rotate it. Yep, let's rotate that. How about that? Alright, so we're going to do that. That's good enough, and we're going to combine that down. Same thing. Copy and paste. It's a lot of copy and pasting. You can see there's a lot of repetition in space. Alright, so let's flip that. Why not? And let's flip it again, because who cares? And, oh, no, let's flip it that way. No, not that way. That way. No, not that way, that way. Okay. So now we're gonna, let's rotate that. Let's rotate it. Yeah. Let's rotate it. Okay. And boop. That's alright. And combine. And again, copy and paste. How boring is this, right? Who needed this kind of boredom? me today because I decided to do this video for you guys because I'm a loser. Alright, so now we have all of the copy and pasting done because, you know, I see no point in doing another copy and paste thing because, you know, there's just a little patch in there that doesn't have stars. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some stars. You know, why not? Let's have some fun. And let's go in, let's do a little more blue. Let's do some more blue. Oops. Yeah, I got a little zealous. My bad. Got a little crazy. I'm gonna add some more stars. Yep. Alright. There we go. Got some stars. And wow, look at that. We got a lot of stars. And you know, that's the basic process for doing space. Now, this might look overwhelming because it's like, wow, it's just a canvas covered in stars. And you know what? You'd be right. Typically what you would do with this is that you would put something in front of it. Some, I don't know, some kawaii anime girl or some shit like that. But you know what? We're not going to do that today because I'm just showing you how I draw space. So, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shake it up because, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you got lots of glowing dots, and yeah, you're right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little more interesting, a little more visually appealing. Now, I'm using a blue color, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to find the spots that are blue because it wouldn't make sense to do one on white. So, alright, here's what I'm going to do. Whoops. I gotta change my stabilization. Alright, so here we go. Stroke up. Maybe not that crazy. Stroke up. Stroke down. Over. Crap. Over. Over. Boom, we got a sparkle. Now you might be asking, hey, why didn't you just do crisscross like an asterisk? Well, because asterisks, damn it, they're stupid. However the fuck you say that, they're stupid. No, there's actually a legitimate reason as to why I don't do it that way, and that is because the less pressure you put on the pen, the more tapered the pen is going to be. Now I want this to kind of gradient out a bit. I want the points to be sharp. I do not want them to be flat and round. So I do it that way so that we can get that sharp, glowy look on the shine. Because if I did it like this, I mean that's an asterisk. You know, we just turned this thing from a starry night to an encyclopedia. Who wants that? No, no one. No one thinks that's attractive. So we're not just going to do a bunch of big ones of these. We're going to do some small ones too because we want everything to be a bit varied. We want it to be different. We want it to be inclusive. We want it to be the America of space. We want all the sparkles and all the stars. All right, so there we go. Those are close together. They're kind of shiny. And let's go down here. Let's change it up. Let's do a yellow one. You know, why not? So let's, put some yellow shines in there. Now you might be saying, hey, that's not perfect, and you'd be right. That's because I'm not a robot, and I don't care, I'm making sparkles. I like to make sparkles, and, sparkle can sparkle however it wants to sparkle. Who cares? Let's go up here. Let's do another sparkle up here. That would be cool. Sparkles all over. Sounds like my kind of fun time. Alright, there we go. Now we got lots of sparkles. And you'd be like, oh, that's cool. Alright, what do we do now? Well, I don't know. Whatever you want, I guess. We can add some shooting stars if you want. Because that could be fun. That could be more space-like. So let's take it up to a 10 pixel brush, something a little bigger. And you know what? Why not? We're gonna just make a dot, and then we're gonna swoop it out. And let's make a bigger tail. There we go. So we got some shooting stars. Why not? That's kind of cool, right? So that's basically how I do that kind of space. And there's one kind of space that I'm going to show you next that is a little bit different, that has a little bit more of a method to it, and I will get there in the next video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Also, feel free to subscribe to my channel to be updated every time I post a new video. I'm trying to post weekly, so let's see how long that lasts. If you'd like to keep up with my social media and my art, all of the links to that stuff is in the description box below. DeviantArt has all of my finished pieces, and Instagram has like all my other stuff, so I mean different stuff all over the place. Check them all out. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon. For just $1 a month you can get access to a bunch of cool stuff. If you are not into that and you would rather just buy something from me, that's always cool. I do have a shop. That link is also in the description. I have a 42-page art book available as well as a 16-page mini comic. Please do check those out. Buy them from me. Support me so I can continue to make more of them. As always, I appreciate your support. If you have any suggestions for what else you would like to see from me, do leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!